Now, pit toilets remain an ongoing problem in KwaZulu-Natal. The South African Human Rights Commission is currently investigating the use of the pit latrine system in a township in eThekwini. Residents there in KwaMashu have resorted to using the bucket system due to overflowing pit toilets that have not been serviced for over 6 years. Nobuhle Modise is following the story for us and joins us now for an update. Nobuhle, thanks for making time. How bad is the situation there in KwaMashu, and how far is that investigation by the South African Human Rights Commission?
So firstly, Clement, let me just start by painting a picture for you. I'm in the Ink area, and that comprises of Inanda, Ntuzuma, as well as KwaMashu. And all those three areas that I've mentioned have an issue, number one, of water, and then there's the issue of sanitation, where most of them have pit toilets that have been around since the dawn of democracy. And now we all know and we're all aware that, proper and safe sanitation is a basic socioeconomic right, which is enshrined in Section 27 of the Constitution. And this particular community in the Ink area has been living under these circumstances for a long time now. Now, how this got around to the South African Human Rights Commission is when the DA visited the KwaMashu area about 2 weeks ago, and then they then wrote to the South African Human Rights Commission saying that they should investigate the matter. The Human Rights Commission, which I did get into contact with this morning, is still going to come back to me, but they've said that they're still also finding out if they have jurisdiction to deal with the matter at the moment, but they will be responding to me. And I just want my colleagues more to show you, the type of area where I am. I'm in Inanda right now. Earlier, we were in KwaMashu and spoke to residents there who are complaining, number one, about the water issue, and obviously those pit toilets that are part of the discussion now. And what the eThekwini municipality has said so far, we heard in the State of the City address, we've heard the mayor of eThekwini, Mxolisi Kaunda, also mentioned this a number of times, that the lack of bulk sewer infrastructure and funding constraints have led to the significant backlog in the provision of acceptable sanitation in some areas around the city. And they say that they've also proposed a new plan to install on-site sanitation technology, including urine diversion toilets to replace pit latrines, which were given the green light at a council meeting last month. We don't know how far that process is, but that is what the city has said so far. Now, coming back to the residents, one of the issues that they've had, like you see the visuals that my colleague is showing you right now, it's quite a condensed space. The houses are very close to each other, and the pit latrines are also just in the same vicinity. And because they haven't been cleaned out in about 6 years or so, the stench is unbearable. They use the bucket system, and because they can't then, take out the contents of the bucket into that particular pit latrine, that's when they throw whatever it is that's in there onto the ground, which explains the stench in and around the area. So just driving into here, just walking inside here is, it's gut-wrenching, and this is their reality. I spoke to a lady earlier who was telling me that she's a health worker, and it's unfortunate that she can't help people around here. She was telling me that she's also herself had an infection for a long while, and when she's been going to the clinic, she's been told that it's because she's been having, unprotected sexual relations, and she's saying that is not the case. It's because of these pit latrines that they are using. And she's saying another thing that even exacerbates the matter even further is the fact that there is no water. So a lot of issues in the area. And one other issue that the residents here spoke to me about is the issue of them not having a councillor in the area who they can go to and run to, which is why they've resorted to using buckets. They've resorted to cleaning the toilets out themselves, and they were saying that they use some sort of chemical to try and clean it out, and they've been told that they can't use those certain chemicals. So there's a lot of issues here, and it's just quite saddening that in 2023 we are still reporting on pit toilets in townships like Ntuzuma, in Inanda, as well as KwaMashu, not even getting into the rural areas where the situation is even quite worse. But at least there it's a bit sparsed out, and here you can see behind me how close the houses are together.
Yeah. Nobuhle Modise, thank you for that update.